It's Dr. Lori. I'm in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. I've got my cart. You're going to come thrifting with me? Come on, let's see what we find on the treasure hunt. These are from the 70s, sort of that happy, sunny 70s. You can see those. This is pretty. It's really pleasant. That's happy for like a lunch table. I would say it's a little bit more of a luncheon table. Those are cool. And then some everyday wear to know and know. But speaking of colorful and pretty, how about some Japanese pieces, right? This, of course, how do you tell it's Japanese just by looking? Well, first of all, two bands and then a metallic band. That's pretty typical of the Japanese in the late 20th century. If you can see, I don't know if you can see when I flip it a little bit, you can see the flowers all the way through. Also, the white flowers on the beige background. And it's made by Noritake, Noritake pieces, and it's got dinner plates, salad plates, bread plates, cups and saucers, and I think the only thing that's missing is one cup. Let me move that. Oh no, I was wrong, the cup was hiding up here, so it's not even missing a cup. So this is a nice set, really nice set. And $1.99 a cup, so that's $2 a cup. But they're perfect. I'm sorry, $2 a cup for the Noritake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm counting 8 of each. So that's a service for 8, but you only have 6 cups. Right? Oh no, there are the 2 cups. Look at them, they're over there. So there's 8 cups. So you had to look a little bit, but they were nearby. It's not like the guys here at Goodwill put them like all the way somewhere else. But here they are. That always makes me happy. I get psyched when that happens. It's like, yeah, we found the cups. So that whole set, $200 for that whole set. That's a service for 8 of Noritake. A nice pink and blue, terrific for, if you're eating out on the porch kind of thing. I like that. Reminds me of my mother. It's not in good shape, but it reminds me of my mother. The concentric bowls, the biggest bowl was yellow, and you had a blue one, and you had a green one, and then you had a red one, and they're all the concentric ones. This is not in good shape. This has been washed and washed and washed many times, but that's very characteristic of the 1950s. I'd leave it because condition is a big deal, but it does bring me back. My mom used to put everything important in those bowls, whether it was potato salad or macaroni or some carbohydrate, right? You can tell, right? But that's pretty nice too. That's a little occupational shaving cup. And how do I know that? This piece is made in Germany. It probably dates to about 1910 to 1920, so it's quite old. It's blank on one side and decorated on the other side. This would be used in barber shops for barbers to actually take the shaving cream and literally get ready to put it on your face. They want $149 for it. It's unmarked, made in Germany, and it's a really good example, and there's nothing wrong with it. It was probably sitting on a shelf forever, but that's a beauty. $149, you all know that value on that's about $25 for that little cup. So there's a hidden, real bargain on the road treasure. That one's good too. So I'm liking this. I'm liking that whole area. Let me keep going. And I'm thinking more of the same. Oh, no, got something good. So this is England. So here we go. We've got Grindley and Company of England. And I'll show you what it looks like. Now this isn't a full set, but very characteristic of the Brits with a double border and then a floral detail. That's pretty typical of Great Britain, and I'll show you that mark so you don't miss it. And the Grindley pieces, these look a little bit more used, but a lot of people are looking for the mates to this. $1.99 for a dish, I oftentimes will say, can you date the plate, right? So can you date the plate just by looking at it this way? And these are the early 20th century pieces. Early 20th century, pretty nice. Grindley is a good name. I would say value on all of this probably in the $70 range for what's here. With the exception of this green plate obviously doesn't match, but this green plate has some status too because it's made by Haviland. You know Haviland, the Limoges, France, Haviland and Company. But this is made by Theodore Haviland in New York. Many people don't know that Theodore Haviland first started out in New York and then saw the interest in Limoges and the clay that was so good in Limoges, France, that he set up his pottery manufacturing firm in Limoges, France. But the New York pieces are also desirable. This piece, not as old as some of the pieces you'll see from France, but a nice piece of Haviland. And in good shape, nice design. You know, it's a vegetable dish. It's be called an open vegetable dish because it has no lid. But that's a very typical design from the well-known French maker who actually was an American who moved to France. So I like that. How much is this? Oh, $2.99. I like that. I like the Haviland piece. This piece is worth about $20. So you're doing pretty well right here with the pieces that we're seeing here. I like this. We used to have one of these. We were all cheesemongers in my family, so we had one of these. Not all that expensive. Not all that, you know, something that you really have to have. It's $8.99 here. I'd probably leave it, but it's a nice memory of cheese. We used to fight over who would cut it. You know, who would cut the actual wheel. So you know, my grandfather actually sold cheese. So we used to get a lot of cheese. It's probably what part of my problem. I love cheese. Let's see, what else have we got? It's a really nice selection here. Oh, look. The Grinnells are over here too, that go with this set. So now we just increased the value on this set. So these go over here. And I understand, you know, they can't put everything on top of everything, but it's cool to have the sets together. And whenever I'm here, I try to put the stuff together. I don't know, I think that's just I'm anal. I'm just one of those people who just has to have it all neat. So I love these dishes. You can't beat these dishes. Nice white. This is Habsburg china made in Austria. Very, very, very plain from the 1970s. Really plain china, but nice china. And here's your mark, if you're looking for it. Like that. This is not great. Yeah, Mikasa. People like Mikasa, antique white. There's the Mikasa mark. But both of these, you see how much whiter the Austrian piece is versus sort of the gray of this Mikasa piece? Well, the gray is really what you're trying to avoid. You know, they're both the same price here. They're both $1.99. But I gotta say, if I'm gonna choose, I'm taking, you know, the Austrian pieces over the Mikasa pieces in this particular case. There's a lot to choose from here. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of ceramics, a lot of good china, you know, and all in good shape. It's not like, oh, it's a big chip or a big crack. I don't think you should ever pass by a piece of Corningware. I don't care what it is. They're so durable. It's so helpful. This is the cornflower blue. And look at the big one down there. There's another one there without the lid, but that's okay. But this is really nice. You're going to either find the mark down here, the Corningware mark here. Pyroceram basically means fire ceramic. And it tells you that it's a 3.5 ounce quart. And then usually there's a mark here too on some of them. But that's a deal I wouldn't pass up. And a little point about Corningware. Corningware is not selling for thousands of dollars. I'm sorry. I know people listed at thousands of dollars, but they're just not, okay? No one's, you know, swiping the credit card, giving you Apple Pay, paying a check, giving you cash at $1,000 for a piece of Corningware. But the Corningware is so durable, so collectible. Lots of people do look for it. I like to see pieces like this. I love to see it with the lid. I get very excited to see the lid because the lid is important to this. But in fact, in such good condition, and the cornflower blue is a valuable pattern. So is the marjolaine. There are a lot of patterns really collectible and desirable. This piece probably worth about 70 bucks, okay? But you can get it here at $6.99. So that's about 10% of what it's worth. This is what you want. You want to buy something at 10%, then you want to either flip it, keep it for yourself, or flip it for the 100%. So that's a $70 piece. And if you buy it for yourself, you're going to have it forever. That was the idea. Corningware. So good quality. I'm trying to let you understand and identify quality by the materials. So when you look at it, you do what I do. You just know it's valuable. So I like this piece a lot. So, but I'm putting it back for you, so you can find it, so you can succeed. Not competing with you. Here we go. It's right here at St. Louis Park in Minnesota. Oh. And how about Fire King? You recognized it from this. If you didn't, you should recognize it from the interior is different from the exterior. The nice luster. Here's the Fire King mark. You don't want to miss it. And appropriately, it's $8.99. It's got to have a little bit of money on it because, of course, it's Fire King. But that's a big piece. It's a popular color. And that piece is 40 bucks online. That's nice. That's a nice piece of Fire King sitting there. Sitting right there, like right at the end. Didn't you have to go hunting for it? You know, a lot of times the best stuff you gotta hunt. You gotta bend down and think about your knees and all that stuff. I'm Dr. Lori. That's Glass and Ceramics here at the Goodwill.